Alright guys, so we're here for the second race of our 2015 Daniel Ricciardo Formula One season, round 2 Malaysia, and apparently the rain must have followed us because it is a complete downpour here on Friday. So yeah, I mean, I talked the last video quite a bit. I think I talked quite a bit about how I really hated heavy rain and how I kind of struggled to drive in it. And it looks like this time that we're gonna see that we're gonna put it to the test. So here in Malaysia, so practice session, just threw on a setup that I'm gonna use for just kind of consistency at every track. Same setup, nothing. I'm not gonna change anything with it. Just gonna run it how it is. And honestly, the grip levels were better than what I expected they would be. You know, it's kind of hard to describe it, I guess. Like, it's still obviously really slippery and really you have to go a lot slower, but I didn't have as much actual wheel spin off the corners compared to what I expected I would get. So, I mean, that's kind of a plus side, I think, but it's just kind of hard to drive in the rain in general, and for whatever reason, I just particularly feel like I struggled with it. And here at Malaysia, I definitely, you know, I think I still struggled with it. I probably could have gotten a lot better, you know, lap times obviously in the dry, but for the conditions, I think I would have done a lot better, but we'll see. So we're ending the second sector in this lap, doing pretty good, or at least the pace seems good. Obviously, I'm the only person that has started to set a time yet, but you can see that still, you know, I don't think I'm going to get completely blown out by everybody like I did in some of the older games in the rain. I think that it's a lot more equal in the rain. You know, the AI cars, you know, are at a really good skill level. So once again, I'll compliment you know, the game on having really good AI cars this year. So we're coming to the end of our first lap, and we're gonna set a 140. A 140. Alright, that's not bad. Not completely terrible. Is that a 40 or a 48? I can't tell. I can't tell by looking at it. I don't know. Either way, so coming to lap 2 there, improved our lap time. We're into P5. And then we did one more lap. We continued to finish lap 3, and I don't think that we improved on this lap. Compared to what we could have, I guess. I don't know, I just kind of figured we'd get faster as the tires warmed up, but I don't think I improved this lap. No, so it looks like whatever I got on lap 2 is as good as it was going to be. So at the end of the first practice, P5, Kvyat is down in 11th. And then, obviously, as you'd almost expect, the two Mercedes are 1-2, but that's alright. So here, we move on to one-shot qualifying. So just double checking the tire strategy to make sure that we are still going to be on the wet compound. And we're going to come to the end of the lap here, because I don't think we want to watch the whole thing. Maybe you do. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to just see the whole qualifying lap. But it is what it is. So once again, we're going to come home where we came at the end of the practice session, and we're going to start P5 for the Malaysian Grand Prix. You know, that's not a bad result. I think it's fairly good considering the circumstances that we're on full wets in heavy rain. But yeah, I think it's better than I expected. So we're kind of in the Ferrari and the Williams sandwich. We're kind of in the middle of that, and then Kvyat in qualifying moves down to 13th. So that's almost surprising. So we're here on race day, and surprisingly, the rain is gone. So we're gonna have a cloudy start to the race, which is fine because it'll be dry. It's not even necessarily, I guess, at this point that I feel that I'm faster in the dry, but I just am a lot more comfortable when it's dry. I'm not struggling with the car the whole time. You know, I'm not fighting it, having massive wheel spin all the time, but that's all right. So I just like the dry a lot better, personal preference. Although I do think they did a good job with the rain this year. I thought the graphics in the rain were absolutely outstanding this year. So we'll look at the top 10 here on the starting grid. Us in P5, the two Ferraris and the two Mercedes will be in front of us for the start of the Malaysian Grand Prix. So hopefully we can make up a couple spots now that it's dry. I'd really like to. I'd like to get another podium if I could, but I'll have to see how that turns out. So here we go. The countdown, and we are off for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Once again, I struggle a little bit with my launch, so I tried to stick it up in Rich to try to keep up with everybody going into the first corner. And it seemed to be okay. I was in between the two Williams cars and broke really deep going into the first corner. Somehow managed to get around Massa into P4, then into P3, and I tried to follow Rosberg off the corner. And you see I get sideways there. Apparently, I got into Vettel. And I look back there and like the whole field has been held up. Once again, I make a mistake on the start. As you can see here, we go into turn 1. Everything is, looking fairly good. And then I try to really get into the inside of Rosberg, and then I decided I'll just follow him off the corner, and Vettel was just there. I was gonna try to squeeze him out, but he was trying to hold his position, and I just I just got into him. He didn't collect anybody else. He didn't seem to get terminal damage, which is good. But yeah, I just clipped his front wheel. Look at it one more time there. But yeah, you just kind of clip the front wheel, and then you just kind of swerve back over, and that's just how the race went. So we're gonna sit in P3 for now, behind the two Mercedes. They're still really close to Rosberg because I was driving pretty aggressively on the start, and we're just gonna try to stick with him and see if maybe he has enough pace to keep up with Lewis, and then if he does, we'll see if we can follow him. But still, at the moment, at the very start, still in position for a podium, but we'll have to see how it turns out. Try to get right up to Rosberg there on the left hairpin, and he'll pull away off the exit. And I could kind of get way off to the left side of the track there, but, which kind of hurts my time and hurts the gap, especially because you see Rosberg's already starting to pull away just from that one little mistake. So these Mercedes cars are really quick. Especially if someone, does make a mistake. It's going to be really hard for somebody to keep up. So we are coming here to the end of lap 1, and it seems like we got a decent pace. It seems like Rosberg hasn't gapped us an extreme amount on that last corner, but they have an extremely good amount of straight line speed. But yeah, so here, lap 4, you see that Rosberg's lapping a second a lap faster. That's what times he's running, and I'm starting to fall back into the hands of the Williams with Massa and Bottas. And then you see him trying to really hurry and stay in front of them and end up cutting a corner there. But yeah, I'm falling right in there with the Williams cars, and that it kind of got me down almost because I was really trying to keep pace with Rosberg, but as usual, that's just how it turns out. So we're here on lap 5, a lap later, getting ready to come down to the final corner, and Bottas gets DRS and gets a good run down the inside, but we're going to pull the switch back, and we're going to go back to the inside and brake really hard and use every inch of the corner that we can and squeeze Bottas back off, so we will keep P3 for now here at Malaysia. So that's pretty good. I think we do have the pace that we can definitely keep this position, but we may have to defend against the other cars in the DRS zones for sure. But yeah, so Rosberg and Hamilton, just the whole race, just continued to pull away from everybody like they normally do. Except Australia, but that's just I didn't mean to do that either. But yeah, I think I obviously need to work on my starts and work on going into corners with other cars, being able to give room and still try to hold my position. So on lap 6 here, once again coming down to the final corner, Bottas, was right behind us, but Massa, was right behind us, but we're gonna hold him off and we're gonna go into the pits and try to get us out of primes that we can get to the end of the race on. And so we're coming in here, seemingly normal pit stop, and I kind of look behind me, and I thought I seen two Williams cars, and sure enough, when I pull into my pit box, getting my tires changed here, and sure enough, the Williams have double stacked. So Bottas is going to get held up while Massa gets his tires changed, and that allows Raikkonen back there to get in behind Massa, and it really, really hurt Bottas's race. And I was honestly surprised, at that point that the AI cars still once again double stacked when they were running so well. I mean, I'm obviously I don't know how it works, why they double stack, but still, I guess it was kind of shocking because they were both there, and then it's like, well, Bottas doesn't really have a chance at this point. I mean, we're halfway through the race, and he just lost, who knows how much time in the pits. So, yeah, very interesting pit strategy, I guess we'll call it, for the Williams team as we try to pull away. So here on lap 10, coming out of the pit, so Raikkonen has got around Massa, and he's going to come after us now. On lap 10, he's going to get a break really deep into the corner and try to hold around the outside, but we're just going to kind of take our normal line, and we kept enough speed up and maybe kind of pinched him off the corner of the outside there to hold the position. But then he's going to go up the inside and he's going to try to make the move that Bottas tried, and we're going to do the same move that we did to Bottas. We're going to switch over, take the inside, barely clipped his right rear wheel there. We're lucky, if the damage was more realistic, we're lucky that wouldn't have been a puncture. Or that we wouldn't have lost the end plate to our front wing there. It's kind of more like a little bit of visual damage, if any. So lap 11 here, we're still trying to hold off Raikkonen, and it's really hard because once again we're coming back to this DRS zone, these two long straightaways. With 3 laps to go, I was really trying to hold this podium spot because we've ridden along right there the entire race. But once again, you see the little arrows on the bottom of the screen. Raikkonen gets a good run in the back of us, but I just kind of break into the corner. I went way to the inside. I'm surprised that wasn't corner cutting right there. But Raikkonen, is still right there. He's going to get another run. I'm going to try to protect the inside line going into turn 1 on lap 12 here. And Raikkonen once again has more speed, but I break into the corner and try to hold the inside. We're going wheel to wheel right there. But we are going to hold the position because I pushed him enough to the outside on the first corner. So yeah, good battle between us and Kimi Raikkonen for the final podium spot here in Malaysia. And as you can see, the weather is just improved the whole race. We went from a rainy weekend to a cloudy start, and now we're going to be sunny here towards the end of the race. And so once again, lap 13, DRS zone, Raikkonen once again right there every single time. He's going to get the run, and we're going to outbrake him into the corner and try to keep our spot on the inside. But had a little bit of wheel spin there off the final corner, but we must have slowed down Raikkonen enough through the corner to hold him off for quite a while. So we're coming to the final lap here. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg have just absolutely ran away with the race. They were just way in front of everybody from the start. So here you see Lewis gets the race win, the second in a row for the second of the season. So here lap 14 of 14, the final lap, final corner. Raikkonen still tried to make a move, and I still tried to break really deep into the corner and hold him off. But Raikkonen is right there as we come out of the final corner, and he just didn't get a good enough run, I guess would be the right term. He didn't get a big enough run that he could knock us off of our podium position there. So we held him off, and we will finish P3 at the Malaysia Grand Prix for our second podium in a row to start off our 2015 season with Daniel Ricciardo. So Lewis and Nico celebrating here. Good day for Mercedes again as usual. So P3 here. One stop. Everybody took one stop. Shouldn't be any strategy changes in these races since they're only at 25%. But yeah, so we finished P3, stayed on the podium in our Red Bull, and yeah, looks like everything's all right. So we're still second in the points after Malaysia. As you can see, Bottas is still pretty close behind us. It looks like we have a 10-point lead over him. But I guess we're also very fortunate that Bottas got held up in the pits because of that. So that helps us in points, and we're tied with Williams for the manufacturers. So yeah, that's all for Malaysia, and I will see you guys at China. So for now, this is No Doubt signing out. I'll see you in the next video.